succeeding, making it, becoming somebody. All those expressions are clear but fuzzy at the same time. If you ask people for a definition, they will each probably give you a different one. Just by itself, succeeding means reaching a goal, no matter how small or how big the goal is. But that is not what most people think about when they use the word success. To have a clear understanding of the concept of success, we can turn to music. In the song Bomengo Atakala, the Congolese singer Reddy Amisi does not necessarily define success, but he defines what it is like not to have it. He puts himself in the shoes of a poor person who fantasizes about success. The song title can be translated to Successful Even Late. The word Bomengo can be translated to wealth or happiness. I found that the right equivalent in the Anglophone sphere is the word success. Despite success not being defined in an exact manner, the author gives a lot of info on how non-successful people see successful ones. This video will analyze the author's paradigm of success and proceed to decipher the importance of the success fantasy by making quite unexpected parallels. Hello, welcome to the Botengu channel. How can I describe my content? Well, when I'm not making videos about music theory or of myself playing, I am using this channel as a way to reflect on what makes black musical cultures similar and also what makes each of them unique. Do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Subsequent to the departure of most of his musicians in the early 80s, Papa Wemba, leader of the group named Viva la Musica, had to recruit new members, one of whom was Reddy Amisi, a young man with a powerful and low-pitched voice. Members of the group were allowed to release albums of their own, and that's what Reddy did. The album Queen Lima was released in 1990 and contained the song Bomengo Atakala. There are a few elements in the song which I had to address. Reddy implicitly gives three attributes to success. First, success is not a long route, but a short and succinct moment. This can be seen when he uses the phrase Mokolo na kozwa e yebanite, implying that success can only be achieved in a day. Reddy also talks about success as something that you barely have any control over. God is the real master of your destiny. Many sentences in the song reflect this. Maso e salamaka nase ezali avia nzambe. Everything that is done on this earth is God's decision. Nzambe asala maso mai na ngonga. God has a time for everything he does. Nzambe asunganga na kende liboso. God help me so that I can become somebody. The third characteristic of success is its differentiative nature. When he expressed how successful people also feel pain, he used an interesting parallel. Boale ezali na ndako ya bomengo, which means pain is also in the house of success, and thus comparing success to a closed house, which means that there's an inside and there's an outside. Inside the house is the success, and outside the house is the lack of success. The walls of the house are thus a differentiator. Furthermore, Reddy also projects himself and says, Nakozwa nakokoma lokola bango, which means I will have and I will become like them. It is safe to ask, who is them? Well, it is definitely not us. So there's a clear distinction between the successful people and the people who are not. When reuniting all of those attributes, we notice that success is just another word for the expression increase in social status. Somebody's social status is an evaluation of how directly impactful that person is and how many people that person is impacting. People who are directly impactful can be, for example, celebrities, while those who are less directly impactful may be people who own a famous product. In summary, the idea of success is essentially going from a low social status to a high social status. In the US, this is also known as the American dream, and throughout the Anglophone sphere, this is known as the rag to riches story. The lower your initial status, the more spectacular the rise, and the higher the success. But now comes the real question. How does one achieve a rise in social status? Let's pretend you have two skyscrapers, and you want to reach the top floor. The first skyscraper only has stairs, and the second skyscraper has multiple elevators located along the walls of the building. Now there are many things that have to be mentioned about the second skyscraper. Only one of the elevators work. The people don't know which one, and that elevator can only go up once per time interval. The skyscraper or buildings are metaphors for types of social ascension methods. For example, going to school in a program that can ensure you a great career without crawling into debt is similar to a building that only has stairs. A lot of your status depends on the continuous effort that you will put in, and it takes a long time to get to the top. Not only graduating from school, but also climbing the industry ladder as well. While on the other end, the building with only one working elevator per time interval alludes to the vehicles for social ascensions such as sports, entertainment, and crime. Those areas allow young people to make it quick, but it only gives a shot to an extremely small amount of people. The selected few usually have shown an extreme level of competitiveness, but have also been extremely lucky. Lucky or blessed, depending on how religious you are. The social ascension method that some will engage in, or the skyscraper that people will choose, depends on the one that the successful people they identify with have used. I also want to add that for women, marriage can be a form of quick social ascension vehicle. Finding the right husband can transform your life. Social media and video sharing platforms can also be a good example of quick social ascension methods, as it is not easy to predict what video will make you go viral, but if you are amongst the lucky few, going viral can boost your channel and bring your status to unbelievable heights. It is safe to say that the second type of social ascension method creates a huge inequality within society. People in the music industry are more familiar with the latter system, which can explain Reddy Amisi's take on success. You can write thousands of songs, but one song can literally change your fate. A good metric for status is often money, but that is not always accurate. Many famous singers are broke, but they have high social status. However, historically, status, money, and luxury have often held hands. Reddy Amisi doesn't only talk about success, he displays it. In the video of Bomengo Atakala, Reddy is in Europe, shown talking to girls and also wears jewelry. Going to Europe is a sign of high status for a lot of Africans. And back in the days, you had a panoply of African artists going to Europe just to film their music videos. That is similar to rappers flaunting their wealth in videos, or flexing, as they call it. Even though they sometimes use fake money, those success codes are what the people who identify with them will understand. There is actually another factor that contributes to exacerbating the display of wealth and luxury items in the videos. The management and the industry behind the artist may have found out that the rag to riches narrative helps sell, and it can help sell a lot. I've been amazed by the number of careers that were launched or propelled when artists convey their desire to reach a high status. For example, American rapper 50 Cent's debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, is one of the most successful debut hip-hop albums of all time. The name of the album appropriately defines the rapper's vision and his commitment to achieve success. A similar phenomenon happened with Biggie Smalls. His biggest song ever is probably Juicy. It appeared on his debut album, Ready to Die, and helped propel him to new heights, where he is now regarded as one of the best rappers of all time. In the song Juicy, Biggie explains how he transitioned from a poor lifestyle to a lavish one. His mother later on explained that some of the things that he had stated in his song were exaggerated for dramatization purposes. So if you didn't know, well now you know. The same observation can be made in other genres. The now popular Cameroonian artist Avero Jess released his hit Le Nyama in 2020. The song chorus explains how nobody likes to suffer and everybody is looking for prosperity. In the span of a few weeks, the song became an anthem in all the Cameroonian gatherings. In an interview, the singer Aselfo, leader of the group Magic System from Ivory Coast, recalls how they first made the song Premier Garou. At the time, they were broke musicians looking for a path to glory. The song Premier Garou talks about a man whose girlfriend leaves him after he became poor. But fortunately, his musical career takes off, and he rapidly becomes wealthy. The ex-girlfriend comes back and the singer is happy to show her what success tastes like. Magic System career did the same as the one of the fictitious character of Premier Garou. After that, the group has done many international collaborations and has become one of the most recognizable francophone groups on the planet. In 2018, it was one of their songs that played every time France scored a goal, and the group was physically present with the French players after their World Cup win. Another interesting case study, still in Ivory Coast, is the former Coupé de Calais artist Kérosène. Kérosène, along with colleagues of his, released famous tracks in the mid-2000s. But after that, Kérosène fell off and wandered in Europe. It is when he got to release the song Mon heure a sonné, or My Time Has Come, that he got to know success once again. The song preaches patience and perseverance to the listener. There are sentences such as, "Failure discourages the loser but inspires the winner. After the obscurity of the night comes the light of the day." Ever since 2016, when the song was released, Kérosène has released other type of songs with similar themes and has inspired many Ivorian artists, essentially turning a lot of those artists who used to sing about party and dance into what I refer to as pastors. The reason I call them pastors is because of how their discourse reminds me of the sermons that we hear in mega churches. But there's something deeper to it, the uncanny link between financial success and religion.
You get optimism and patience, you're fucking off to the fucking races. The 99% that achieve are willing to sacrifice, be persistent, put in disproportionate work, and think in 50-year terms, not 50-day terms.
We may not like the process. It's uncomfortable. We're doing the right thing, but the wrong thing is happening. We're working hard, but not seeing increase. Thoughts will tell you it's never going to get better. Don't believe those lies. That disappointment, the breakup, the slow season didn't stop what God has for you.
I have watched a couple of motivational speakers on YouTube, and frankly, although a lot of them are atheists, they have a discourse that is extremely similar to religious preachers. While religious preachers tell you to have faith and sacrifice pleasure to get closer to God, motivational speakers are telling you to have faith and sacrifice pleasure in order to increase your social status. The connection is not coincidental. In his book, The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, German sociologist Max Weber talks about the connection between financial success and religion. Before the Renaissance in Christian Europe, there were castes that regular peasants could not reach. The son of a peasant would most likely remain a peasant, and the children of royalty would be royalty. All would pray to go to heaven in the afterlife. But according to Weber, the Protestant religion, and especially the branch of Calvinism, has helped edify the capitalistic concept of success by borrowing elements from the divine salvation. Long story short, social ascension, or success, can be seen as the new heaven. While most of what I say about singers, preachers, and motivational speakers is positive, the success fantasy can also have negative ramifications. There are a lot of pastors, motivational speakers, and leaders of pyramid schemes who are using the success fantasy to enrich themselves while preaching rubbish to the people. And most of those scam artists are not reluctant to exude materialistic manifestation of success and pretend that it's a manifestation of the gospel or of their financial acumen, or whatever they are trying to preach to the community. However, this materialistic manifestation of success mostly comes from the money of their followers. Those followers give money because they believe in the cause, thus enriching the scammers, who can further reinforce their credibility and increase their amount of believers.
The pastor calls himself a bishop here, and he's celebrated like a star. David Oyedepo's estimated worth is 150 million US dollars. Many of his followers yearn for that kind of wealth. Oyedepo's prosperity gospel resonates with them.
The siege of unemployment is over in your life. The siege of business, frustration, stagnation, and failure is finally over.
The big donation baskets fill quickly. The belief is the more you give during and after the church service, the more your wealth will increase.
The interesting thing is that unlike heaven, where nobody can check whether or not you've made it, we can see who's financially successful and who isn't. Hence, those preachers have become ever more competent at doing more mental gymnastics to convince people that if they are not successful, it means that they haven't followed the success recipe the correct way. The scammers will also use any success stories and extract whatever facts are useful to help them promote their narrative. Now, although musicians are not morally condemnable like the people I've just described, there are similarities in how they can benefit from promoting the success fantasy. One possible reason their songs about success may get a lot of attention is that the people who identify with them, and who for now have a low status, may also feel like they have a chance at making it. Selling success stories can therefore help you become successful. Now I want to avoid the survivorship bias. So just to clarify, I'm not saying that releasing a song about success is enough or even necessary to achieve success in the music industry. But the trend that I'm seeing from the examples above and the effect that it can have on the audience is significant and cannot be neglected. In an interview published in 2020, Reddy Amisi stated that the success of his song Bomengo Atakala has helped him assert his credibility within the musical band that he was a part of. It gave him a much more prominent role within the group as well. He went on to make more solo albums while still being close and loyal to Papa Wemba, his leader. He then went his own way and created his group, and he is now one of the biggest names in Congolese music. Reddy Amisi envisioned success, talked about it, and him projecting himself was enough to turn his vision into a reality. That is the potential effect of the success fantasy. Anyway, I hope you've liked this video, and if so, feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel. I have not been receiving the kind of views I wanted lately, so who knows? Maybe this is the video that will make my channel blow up and help me become successful.
Bomengo atakala nakozuwa nakokoma lokola bango kudianti nukuyoka inwa maso esala makana se ezali ya via nzambe.